Hello, Opera Omnia. This is Bishop with my first voice commentary run. So, after listening to the ranting hour this past week, where Inkwelder said he will never watch a run video without voice commentary, of course, I needed to accept the challenge and went and bought a microphone, and now here I am. I'm going to go through my second Divine Brothers run, just kind of testing out, just trying some different characters. So I have an LD only COD, I have a fully built Tifa, and I have Basch, who is 3 out of 3, but as you can see, he doesn't have a whole lot here. Bringing Shiva, we'll talk about a little bit more there, and going with a Garland friend for the run. All right, so the calls, I have Kurosami and Jack. They're going to be there for once they unite, and then Ferris is going to be there. The first call is for when they're separated, and the second one is when they're here. Now, I'm not going to jump immediately into doing this or getting into the calls, because one of the things I noticed is that Minotaur, or A, he will run through debuffs very quickly. He's real fast, which is part of the reason why I also brought Shiva to speed up my party characters. As you can see, I'm trying to kind of break to get everybody a chance to get set up, ready to go. I've got Indomitable on. I'm going to get Tifa set up here and ready to go with everything she's got. And then I'm really going to start working on B in order to try to get him down as far as I can, because when Minotaur starts taking turns, and especially when he starts curing him, I want to make it harder. So we just got the first recast. Basch tanked it, or Basch ate it just like I wanted him to do. And now we start the beginning. Now, one of the things I was always trying to do is I would push, or the objective was to try to just keep pushing B back further and further and further and further with what we have. I wasn't as worried about A, even with the cure with this. So that's why you see me going after B quite so often. I'm doing everything I can to shove him back. Now, one thing I didn't do is, you'll notice I did not use Cloud of Darkness's AA, or not AA, LD initially, because I was trying to hold off until after the first recast, because if I use the delay first to get the battery off, once the recast goes off, Segrid puts it right back on. So I didn't want to do that at that time. So as you see, should come my first LD, because I had 0. So I pushed them both back. And then I'm going to push B back even further here with 0 form. And again, I'm just going to try to get these guys down as far as I can. Here's the first time I'm going to go with Ferris, because now I've got him close to 90. The big reason why I wanted Ferris was not just for the attack down, because I do like Ferris. She's just put so many diva buff slots on. But also for the defense down, so that Basch could actually be somewhat effective in this, because without any kind of defense down debuff, Basch is throwing snowballs. He's not accomplishing anything here with this. Now, granted, you're also not bringing him here for this. That's what it's for. Now, I got real lucky here. I forgot that once you get one of them under 80, that they get delayed, or they delay themselves, and they get the huge Brave gain. And that worked out into my favor, because I knew I knew Minotaur was about to go, and he was going to heal Segrid, and it was like, oh, that just worked out great. So that was in it. That was just something I was not expecting. Now, you notice a lot of times I use the single delay on A, and I'm using the 3-turn delay on B or Segrid. So I'm using 1 turn there to try to. I'm just pushing them all the way back as far as I can. Now, one thing you're going to notice here, really going after B here, the summon's going to come up soon, because I know they're going to be going here, just kind of spoiling the end of this here. They did not get another turn after the recast. That was not on purpose. That just kind of fell out into my favor. I was not anticipating it. I am going to use summon here because I want to make sure I'm using the summon before these guys can really start tearing in to the debuffs. As you can see, I'm really going to go after Minotaur here, or A, with what we have. Now, the other good thing here about the summon is that not only do you just get, just free turns, you can really push these guys back with just kind of not really getting too deep into it very much. And that gives me a lot more breathing room. Once we get out of it, I'm able to take, as you'll see here, I get about 10% of Minotaur gone and get him down into the low 70s, which allows me to set up real nicely once they unite with what we're doing. So you can see I'm kind of letting Tifa go to work here. I'm going to get some the Cloud of Darkness going here in a minute. Yes, I used the S2 here because I said, okay, my darkness stacks are a little low. I'll lose one. No big deal. So we're going to push A back here again. Now, this is where the next few turns become important. So, is he at 70? Yeah, 70 here. So I got Basch coming up. He's not going to do anything to get him down under 70. So I'm trying to just kind of bring Sekret down here. Now, with Tifa, I'm actually going to battle cry Minotaur first to get him under 70, and then I'm going to follow it with Beat Rush. And the reason I did it this way is because I wanted Cloud of Darkness to go right now. So, because the hope was I'd be able to add some turns to the orb. I screwed this up. So I'm getting Kurosami in right now, just like I wanted. I should have used the LD here in order to break them and get the delay and just basically forget about the orb. I wasn't thinking. I went with S1 to get a level of darkness. So right now I'm putting Ferris back on, which is exactly what I want because I'm going to try to get as many debuffs as I can. But the problem is, and I realize it here, I can't bring Jack and get his call in. So I realized, oh shoot, I got to bring Garland in. So I brought in Garland earlier than I wanted, which thankfully worked out in my favor because, as you can see, he's pretty much capping Brave anyway with what we wanted. Now, one thing that you may say, why didn't I bring Cloud of Darkness? I will admit I've run several different runs with kind of comparable teams when I've done this. I really think Garland is a better friend unit than Cloud of Darkness. Now, don't get me wrong, the follow-up attacks for Cloud of Darkness are great. Now, understand, I have not run Lightning. I have not run Terra. Any of those ones that get those massive amount of turns. That would probably make a really big difference if, somebody who was getting free turns like Aranea, that would be something I think Cloud of Darkness would be used for. I'm not really running that kind of team. It's really more of a delay. And I think Garland's burst effect really lets me just dig into the damage with the burst, with the higher burst caps. That really allows me to, top out on the HP with every attack that we're going to have here. So I think it's an advantage. I want to say in running them, I've noticed about a 10% difference. This is, again, just me doing my play style. You might get something a little bit different. Oh, yeah, there's Jack. I'd forgotten about him at this point. I said, let me throw him on there because when Basch comes back, he's going to need all the help he can get with that. So you can see I'm down, I don't want to say 30, but I'm getting pretty close to that at this point. And so, let's see, I had 2 turns left, so I was debating, okay, do I go ahead and beat Rush now and get the battle cries in later? Because one of the things I was going to do is once I knew Garland was going to be out of there, that's when I wanted to make sure I used my final Media Crusher to make sure I was maximizing all the damage that I possibly could with this. So, yeah, 1 turn left, so like I said, I'm throwing everything at him right now because the objective is I do not want these guys to get a turn. I've done that in other playthroughs, and it was ugly But as you can see, I'm about to be underneath the 50% threshold. Now I actually like that move because I had the AA. I had 3 turns, or I had 3 levels of darkness. If I did that, I'd get the free turn with the S1, get to the 5, I'd get the 0 form, and I could push him back even further. And here we go, the last Meteor Crusher for Tifa. And now the race begins. So I'm going to maximize every single thing I can here. Basch hitting for max. I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at this thing. Doing everything I can. So the name of the game here is delay, delay, delay. Not necessarily with getting there, but just if I can squeeze free turns somewhere, get these free turns in wherever I can. Like with battle cries and whatnot. I wish I had that for the different things that we had. So this is, so with Basch, it's just kind of like, all right, here's a spit wad, let me throw it at you. And then we'll let we'll let Cloud of Darkness and Tifa do the rest of the work here. And so we'll get this going here to speed up the rest of the process. There's the LD to get me into 0 form again here near the end. One more AA. Delaying with Dolphin Blow. Getting as much as we possibly can. One more EX. Another Spitwad. Again, maximizing the battle cry. If we're getting low, we'll slow it down here for the finish. One more 0 form in case I needed it. I did that there because I knew I could squeeze out if necessary. I'd be able to get one more 0 form before they came up, but I knew we'd be good. And here we go. Tifa for the end here. 1 beat rush, jumping a turn. And for whatever reason, I decided to get egotistical and EX for no apparent reason other than that. So that's what it had. Divine Brothers down thanks to Cloud of Darkness, Tifa, and Basch. So nothing better than a good carry. All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.